In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I'm the gatekeeper of this particular program, known here on Daily Motion, YouTube, Vimeo, and make sure that you friend me on Facebook. I am known here and around the internet as the mighty Angel Snub Number 7. I am y'all's brother, and hopefully y'all friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I would like just to take a few moments, and as always, thank you for sharing your precious time with me. It is always an honor to come before my people or friends to speak with us on different topics. This particular subject that we've chosen for this brief moment is atheism, realism, and being an agnostic. Is there a word agnosticism? Something to that effect. There's so many isms to everything else. It should be agnosticism. I guess that's how you would pronounce it. Being or claiming to be an agnostic. I would first like to speak about simple what we call atheism. Atheism simply is a non-belief in God. Actually, it's a description made to make mockery and ostracize persons who don't believe in God from those who are believers in God. It is an attempt to make you feel stupid for not believing in God. To believe in God is something that has to be taught. If somebody did not teach me about Jesus or Muhammad or any of these gods, you would just live your life. Just like a deer lives its life, a whale lives its life, a tree lives their life. But among the human species, through the ages, coming out of fear, ignorance, this what we call religion came into being, and it was forced upon the masses of the people. So now we think that it is natural for us to believe in something. But it's not. This is a taught behavior. In fact, it was forced upon other people by those who held influence and power. But an atheist is simply one who rejects all these religious teachings, the belief in God. And sometimes an atheist, because they disbelieve in God, then they feel as though they can do anything they want to. So it is all right to fornicate. It's all right to get drunk out of my mind. It's all right to murder and kill because I don't have any type of law in order to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't have to be responsible for anything. And some atheists believe in theories. They might not believe in God, but they believe in theories like the Big Bang Theory, and they embrace the sciences. That is a simple definition or description of the average atheist. Now, when it comes to myself, some may believe that I am an atheist because I don't believe in God. But I am just a simple person who rejects that description because I know that atheism comes from out of religious belief teachings. I'm a person that simply accepts and embraces my reality. However, if you can show clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence to support that God actually exists, I'm willing to accept that, because if you have the evidence and the facts, you bring it into reality, then since I am a seeker of reality, then I have no choice but to accept God as a reality. And if God is a reality, there's no need to believe. However, again, just because God is real does not mean I will serve God, does not mean I will pray to God, does not mean I will be God's servant, because there is no life form, whether you call yourself God or man, or whatever you want to call yourself, there is no other life worthy of my life being a servant to it. It is better that I go back into non-existence than be somebody's slave. I am against slavery to people. I am against slavery to some God. I don't mind assisting you, God. I will respect you, God, for who you are. But I will not be your slave. I will not be your servant. That I cannot do. And when we have that type of attitude, sometimes people view us as arrogant. And it is not arrogance. It's just that we've accepted the reality of our life. Just like a deer is a deer. An elephant is an elephant. A tree is a tree. A cloud is a cloud. I accept this situation of which I was born into. I'm not looking for a way out unless it is death, suicide. I accept life just the way that it is. And people have a problem with accepting just simple reality. They want to live in some type of delusional land. And that's what religion does for us. Gives us a Disneyland for our mind. When we are children, we are taught about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and all this other nonsense. And when we become adults, they give us Jesus and Muhammad and all this other fictional stuff. And we even call ourselves children of God. After 4,000, 5,000 years, the children of God have yet to grow up to be adults, because a child cannot remain a child. A child must become an adult sooner or later. But if you are a child of God, then you must grow into God, but you will always remain a child of God, because you can't grow up to be God, because God don't exist. You can't grow up to be something that you're not. You can't grow up to be something that don't exist. I know you don't like it, but that's how it is when you don't accept your reality. So they use religion just like a crackhead use crack. Just like an alcoholic use liquor, gin, and vodka. How some of y'all use sex. You obsess and you overdo things because you want to leave this reality, because the reality of life is not pretty. It's not pretty for the tree. It's not pretty for the eagle. It's not pretty for no life form. But they can't get drunk. They can't use no religion. They have to accept life just how it is. But as a human being with a brain, you can use your imagination to take you into worlds no man has gone before. And to bring this little talk to conclusion, I want to simply talk about, or quickly talk about, the agnostic. The agnostic, in all these ideas, the agnostic is the ideological coward. Agnostics are cowards because deep in their heart, an agnostic person knows that God does not exist. But just in case, because they still are filled with religious teachings, most of us are filled with religious teachings ever since we were born. They began to feed our minds religious teachings. But just in case, I don't want nobody to get mad at me, especially God. I can't prove that God don't exist or disprove or whatever. So they try to play both sides. an agnostic is a coward. I would tell you that God don't exist, and I will suffer the consequences if I am in error of which I doubt. An agnostic have a fear that the religious people might be right, so they want to sit on the fence. So if something happens, just in case the believers in God are right, well, see, I really did believe. I didn't really say I disbelieve. That's cowardly. Stick to what you really believe in. You don't believe in God. Just say it. Accept your reality. And if God is just, if God is fair, God understands why you had to take that position. If God is real, it's not up to me to prove that God is real. It's up to the person who's making that claim. I don't have to prove that God is real. It's quite obvious there is no God. Those who said that God is real, then show me clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence that God exists. Do you have a fax number for God? Do you have God on video? When was the last time you and God had personal contact? I feel God. How do you know you feel? How are you going to feel something that you never met? You have no personal contact. You repeating stuff that somebody taught you. And God has not taught nobody anything. Even according to the religious teaching itself. God sends Moses. God sends Jesus. God sends Muhammad. What is God doing that God is so busy he or she can't come down and talk to me? If God wants my attention, I don't need to hear about God from Susie or Johnny. Come and talk to me personally, God. God wants us to have some kind of connection to people that lived thousands of years ago. Come yourself and talk to us and stop this confusion, because everybody has different gods. It makes no sense. And Judge Judy said, if it does not make sense, chances are it's not true. And I will go with Judge Judy on that one. So it's up to you where you want to stand. But as long as you believe in God and you have free thinkers in the world, you're not going to be able to sell us that Disneyland stuff that they've been handing down from generation to generation for thousands of years. If you like it, that's good. But don't try to force that on self-thinking minds. It's not going to work. Jot down your comments. Thank you for listening. This is your brother Taalik Ibn'rad. This was and is, of course, the Reality's Temple on Earth.